GS248. I'm Alex Light with Sparky 3. Hopefully you are having a phenomenal day today. Whatever day you're listening or watching the show, we're back live this week after I think like 3 recorded episodes. I don't know. It's been a busy time recently. A lot of sickness, a lot of busyness. I got John here in the studio. John, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Yeah. When it's coming over, it's like, you know what? It has been a while since we've been in studio.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, because we had we had all the ice and everything, and then after that, we just traded off being sick.
Yeah, correct. No, like I think I said last episode, dude. Like I finally have gotten to the point where I'm finally over sickness, and I'm so thankful. Oh my god,
mine's pretty much gone now.
Yeah, because like man, I'm not joking. I'm talking Thanksgiving to the first week of February. I'm talking I was sick, and it was just like, will it ever end? Like I'm telling you guys, like for some of the videos that came out in between that period, like let's say the Metacritic predictions, you guys should see the cut content of where I'm sitting here trying to do a take and I get hit with the most brutal cough attack and I gotta step away. It's just like, oh my god. Oh no, I'm glad the sickness is over. But yeah, back in studio today. Should be in studio next week and next week. Talking at least a little bit about Resident Evil Requiem. So also right off the top, let me go ahead and throw this out there. The game is fully leaked, so beware on the internet right now. I have not actually seen something, which is very abnormal for me. That's very abnormal for me, because I'm usually the one to find everything and see everything and never really care. But I have not looked into it. But yeah, no, Resident Evil 9 has fully leaked. So definitely beware on the internet right now. But we'll be playing that next Friday and be talking about it. I'm really excited for it. But got a few things to go over today. I had a random bombshell of set of news that all dropped yesterday for whatever reason. Nintendo had their thing first thing in the morning. Sony had their thing about midday, and then Xbox finished off the day. I mean, it was just a news day, one after another, with some Pokemon news that we saw rumored and joked about last week that is confirmed. So we're gonna touch on that at the start of the weekly wrap up. Xbox leadership changes. That was a nuclear bomb that dropped yesterday. And then some Sony stuff as well, which is also kind of a bomb as well. But I don't think as much of a bomb as the Xbox one. The Xbox one was a little bit of a nuke.
Yeah. Well, we'd talked about it even like a year ago.
Yeah, true. You know, so a little bit of a nuke got dropped yesterday, and it's been kind of. I'll tell you, as someone that's been following the thing on Twitter, it's been an interesting thing to follow. So we'll dive into that. Plus, whatever else we've been up to. So if you can, make sure to subscribe to the channel, be a friend, tell a friend, and we'd appreciate that. So I do have an update for you. I beat Lost Records Blooming Rage. I beat it this morning.
Okay.
I got to be honest, for 90 or 85% of the game, that game's a little bit of a slog. But I got to be honest, that last hour and a half was awesome. Last hour and a half was great. Great time, man. But man, that game was a slog through the most of it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got through it, but man, for me, it was a slog.
It's weird being on this side of someone describing that. That's usually my thing.
Yeah,
I'm usually the one playing like either the not great games, or I'm the one playing the slop where I'm like, I know what I'm playing.
Yeah.
I do. How long did it take you?
It was only probably like a 12 to 15 hour game.
Why?
Yeah.
If it's that much of a slug, why are you doing it?
I don't know.
Why'd you do?
I don't know. I was committed.
I don't have the patience for that.
I was committed. I have
the patience for it in some scenarios, but more often than not, I like 6 to 8 hours in.
Yeah.
That's my dropping point.
So normally it would be for me too. Very clearly with how I did my 2025 rankings, which is out, by the way. Please go watch that video, where some of those later half games are ones that I dropped after about the 6 hour point, Avowed being an example. But the story had just enough to make me curious about these certain points where it's like, I want to see what happens, not just look up what happens. Because like I want to know. So it's like I was given Don't Nod the benefit of the doubt, like, okay, maybe you'll finish strong. And they did. I feel like they finished strong. The ending of the game is good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the climax and everything. But man, just getting to that point was it sometimes tested my patience. I'm not going to lie to you. I will say for my ending, the one thing that I do really appreciate about it is objectively speaking, I got the worst ending, objectively speaking. But I like how Don't Nod kind of wrote and designed the endings, because even though objectively I got, I guess you would consider technically the worst ending with what's happening in present day, um, it doesn't feel like a bad ending, because like the way it expands and unlocks a new portion of scenes that you wouldn't have got if you were able to successfully do other things that I did not successfully do. And I thought the things that I got to go see and experience, that I was like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. So I do appreciate how the ending was done, where it doesn't feel like a bad ending, even though like objectively people can argue it's a bad ending, you know? So I did appreciate that a lot. I liked my ending. I'm not going to play the game again to experience the others. I'm going to YouTube at this point. I've already uninstalled the game for my console. That moved on. That's done. We're moving on to the next thing. Let's see. I would say this game is a solid 5 out of 10. It's mid. I think mid is fair. I think 5 out of 10 mid. I think that's a fair rating for the game.
I also want to just good on you, because more often than not, we don't go down that low.
No, we don't.
But like, it's like a lot of times we
finish the games we like.
Usually if we're playing a game long enough to rate the game, it's because we picked games we know we're going to enjoy, or we think we're going to enjoy.
Exactly. Oh, actually, you know what? That actually reminds me. Since I don't think the board existed at the time, put Redfall on the board. Since you almost beat that game, where does Redfall fall on this thing? Because the board didn't exist when Redfall.
At the time that I played it, it was probably a 4.
So a bad.
It was a bad game. I don't know if they've improved it since then. I don't want to find out.
Okay, that's fair.
But it wasn't a good game.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good game. It wasn't a mid game. I'd say it was bad when I played it when it came out. But it's mostly due to how broken it was, but also it just wasn't good.
Yeah, it wasn't a good game. Yeah, I hear you. So yeah, 5 out of 10 for Lost Records Bloom and Rage. It does kind of set up for a sequel with how the game was reviewed and kind of, you know, the feedback from it. I don't know if we'll ever see one. And if there one that happens, I don't know if I'm going to play it. I don't know if they grab me enough to want to play it. I'm going to be honest. I did also check out at least just to work to the point where like the main story took off. So not far, but I did check out the sequel for one of your favorite games to come out over these last few years. I did check out High on Life 2 and play the opening sequence of that game.
I don't know why you're
you love that game.
I tried it. I can say that I tried it. That game, when we saw the trailer, I said, "What the fuck is that?" I at least gave it the benefit of the doubt and tried it. And when I finished, I said, or when I dropped it, I said, "Not for me." But you know what? I tried.
Yeah. No, I played the whole opening sequence. So basically up to the point where your character has a bounty. So not that far into the game for the people that's played it. You can kind of piece together. But I mean, gameplay was fun. You know, it was goofy. It was fun. I will say the opening sequence of the game was actually really, really interesting, because it's basically kind of catches you up on what your character's been up to, and you're constantly back and forth between different scenes. So you're jumping into like a scene where like you're being interviewed at like almost like a Jimmy Fallon type setup, and then you're battling a monster in the city, and then you're at your parents' house and they're having an argument about something, and then you're here, and then you're here, and then you're back to the monster in the city, then you're back to the Jimmy Fallon type thing. So it's constantly jumping you scene to scene. So I thought the way they handled the opening was kind of cool. I kind of appreciated that. But I mean, if you play the first one, you're getting the same thing again. I mean, except this time I got a skateboard. So cool. I got a skateboard.
You should know if you're going into High on Life 2, you should know what you're getting.
Yeah. Except this time a skateboard. So shout out to that, I guess. I don't know. Will I continue it when I'm bored? Because I literally just play it like I think like a couple days after it dropped, just like shits and gigs. Like, sure, why not? I will say Game Pass has got a lot of stuff coming right now. I don't know if you've seen that.
I've been like periodically checking it out, and I've been seeing some of the stuff that's
so I've been kind of downloading stuff that's been dropping. So we had Kingdom Come 1 that came already Game Pass. Kingdom Come 2 is coming soon too. So I downloaded Kingdom Come 1. I haven't tried it yet, but it is on the radar to try at some point. But I'm still trying to work through some backlog. I reinstalled Silent Hill F, so that's one I'm gonna play again here soon. But
I've actually played a few things recently.
Yeah, I've seen, and your choice of things that you're playing.
It's odd, isn't it?
Yeah, I saw that
No,
on Steam, and I was like, "What? This is what he comes back to?"
And my buddies were playing it, and they hit me up to play it. I was like, you know what? Sure. So yeah, I haven't played games since like I don't know December,
Yeah.
something like early December probably. And so yeah, I decided to come back and play some Apex Legends.
What a choice.
It's fun. It's fun. I don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a decent time. I haven't played it a lot. Don't have a lot of time in the evenings necessarily, so I don't play a whole lot there in the week. And then today actually been playing Fellowship again. A lot of fun.
Nice.
Still very much enjoy that game.
Yeah.
So yeah, started playing that today. Gonna keep playing that one for a bit.
Nice. I did another run today of No, I'm Not a Human. Very fast run. I butchered that run bad. Ooh, buddy, that run got destroyed very quickly. Like that was the fastest I've had a run in. Like, dude, because like man, I literally had the first 3 people in the house after like the first night or whatever, and it's like the next morning, it's like it smells like someone died in here. I'm like, already, dude. So I was like, all right, I gotta figure this out now, and I kept guessing wrong. And it's just like more people just kept dying. It got to the point where the game stopped telling me people were dying. And I just walked around the house. I just found garbage bags on the ground. I'm like, shit, someone else died. The little girl died. Game didn't warn me anyone dies. Walked in the kitchen. She's gone. There's trash bags, bloody trash bags on the floor. And a dude just sitting there. I'm like, well, this is fucking great. And so I was at that particular point of the game as well. You know, like the game has like this like prophet dude that will come by and he'll give you like certain heads up. Like, hey, when a cat comes, you need to let that cat in the house no matter what. So there's a crazy lady that comes holding this cute, ugly orange cat. You just let her in the house by default. But then like he'll come later sometimes and he'll give you like a, hey, you can't test anybody for the next 2 days. On the 3rd sunrise, you can continue. That is the only way that I'm going to be able to continue to help you. So it's like right after he did that, the little girl died. So it's just like, okay, I have a visitor in the house. There's 2 people in the house. Funny enough, they were both fucking visitors. And I'm like, well, I have no choice. I got to shoot both these guys. He comes back. He's just like, oh no, you fucked up. Your fear took over you. There's nothing I can do to help you. Good luck. And he just leaves and the game ends. There are people coming out of my basement, breaking in through my windows. I get beaten to hell, and they throw me out in the field for the sun to burn me alive. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So, no, I butchered that run. That run was, buddy, that was not a good one. So, still a great game, though. Highly recommend it. No, I'm Not a Human. Go play it. Go play it. It's fun. I think you would enjoy it. It's not scary. It's really not. It's just creepy. It's just creepy. It's not scary. There's no scare about it.
I've looked at it before. I think it's like art style doesn't appeal to me.
That's fair. It has a very unique art style.
Yeah,
that's
it's like
sure.
That's what's put me off of it.
Yeah,
for the most part, like not any scariness or anything. It's just the art style. I look at it and I'm like, it doesn't look like something I want to be like looking at for the time while I'm playing it.
Yeah. Another horror game that I came across recently that I'd recommend people go look at is the Wellmont's Case. I watched Queso's playthrough of it. That is another one, like one of those indie horror games that was legitimately so unbelievably creepy. Like that was like, and it was their debut indie too for this developer. Kudos, man. They had that. I've got a wish list. I'm gonna pick it up sometime soon and play it myself as well. That game is oh my dude, it was legitimately very, very creepy. It's very rare for me to watch anyone do an indie playthrough and me get creeped out watching it, because at the end of the day, I'm watching it. I'm watching them react. Like the only ones ever where it was so creepy just watching it to the point I have to go play it myself was this one and The Face of Another, which was one of my favorite games from last year. Like both of those, like watching it and playing it both, unbelievably creepy. So yeah, the Wellmont's Case. Go check that out. It just dropped last month. Very, very creepy. I don't know. You ready to jump into stuff?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So a nuclear bomb dropped yesterday with Xbox. Phil Spencer officially retiring as of this upcoming Monday, the 23rd. He'll remain with Xbox as an advisory role until the summer. Matt Booty got a promotion. What was his new? He was now EVP and Chief Content Officer. So he's basically Triple H. Shout out to that. Sarah Bond gone, just out. And man, it's interesting to see the Sarah Bond thing because like literally the day of the nuke, she posted something on LinkedIn about Xbox accessibility, like just like an hour before all this news dropped. No one mentioned Sarah Bond except Phil Spencer in the goodbye stuff, whatever. Like the Microsoft CEO, he didn't mention Sarah at all. The verdict is that she resigned. Obviously, very very possible because I think we can all assume that she was kind of like she always appeared like the hand-picked successor to Phil. So the moment this news dropped and it's not her, she probably said, "Okay, I'm out." I don't know. I could also perceive it as a firing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest.
It could very much also be Phil's leaving. You can leave, or we'll fire you.
Yeah, it kind of feels
It's
like that.
It's like leave quietly or leave loudly.
Yeah, exactly. And we do now have our new CEO of Microsoft Gaming specifically. You know, that's what they've been labeling it as for a while. Asha Sarma, who was previously the Core AI product CEO of Microsoft, which has some people concerned because she has no background in gaming at all. She's had her career has been jump position to position, climbing career ladders. So it's not going down; it's consistently going up. So shout out to that. Like she currently sits on the board of Home Depot and Coupang. I don't know if I pronounced that right, which is apparently the Amazon of like South Korea. Previously the CEO of Instacart and Porch Group, VP product engineering at Meta. And she has like a long opening statement. I will say a couple things. Is like her 3 commitments is 1, great games, 2, return of Xbox, which I thought that segment was really interesting, that portion of her opening quote, and the future of play. And then there is one quote that I did want to highlight because obviously, again, she was with Core AI, so that naturally brings a lot of concern, as it should, and the concern should stay there, no matter what she says. But she said, as monetization AI evolve and influence its future, we will not chase short-term efficiency and flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. So shout out to her for using the word slop. That's usually just an internet term, so she used the word slop there. Games are and always will be art crafted by humans and created with the most innovative technology provided by us. I will add before I ask the question, beyond her opening statement, she has been unbelievably active on Twitter in a positive way. Where it's like, because like she's got a Twitter account that she's never used, not a single post. She's had it since like 2021, never had anything. But now, obviously, with this news, now she's being very active, which can lead to the assumption it could be a bot running it or an assistant or whatever, right? But whatever. But being very, very active, responding to basically any account out there, does not matter of size. Accounts that I see that are just like troll accounts, as well as just like news accounts, like people of like our size kind of stuff, responding to them, responding to people. It's just like DM me your thoughts, this and that, blah blah blah. Even doing a few deep cut. Not, I wouldn't say super deep cut, but deep cut memes where it's like she responded to Xbox's official post congratulating, where all she said is, "Should I bring back the blades?" referring to the blades dashboard. So shout out to that. Shout out to the deep cut there. Love that. But she's saying all the right things, right? Like, I mean, all the interactions she's doing with literally everyone, with sharing like memes and gifs and just like, asking questions. And that was also part of like Phil's statement through this whole thing, is Phil was saying that like she brings legitimate curiosity and like wanting and constantly asking questions. She's actively wanting to understand gaming and the gaming industry. So shout out. So my question with this whole thing, and my question not only goes to John and myself, but anyone watching this clip or full episode, she's saying all the right things, but obviously it's all about action. Is Xbox, the damage on Xbox, is it beyond the point of repair, or is there any chance things could change? Because again, all the right things are being said, but it's about action. Like, is the damage way too beyond the point of repair, in your opinion?
I mean, it's something we've talked about for the last couple years, where it's felt like every year we get closer and closer to that moment of, oh, is it time to give up?
Yeah, is this
it's like we agreed like last year it was almost the time to give up on Xbox.
Yeah, true.
And the thing is, it's hard to say that Xbox is gonna come back in any way with Phil leaving.
Yeah,
Because even like Because one of the things I think I said like a year or so ago when we were talking about, because it was another segment of like Phil kind of taking the blame for a lot of the problems with
Yeah,
Xbox and
yeah,
that. It
yeah.
was like, how long? I think one of the things I said was like, how long do you think Phil's going to be a punching bag for them? How long do you think they're going to be able to rely on the goodwill of Phil?
Mm.
And he's gone now. You got nobody that's going to be there just willing to be your punching bag for the like the community
Yeah,
and the
for the
fan
brand.
base.
Yeah.
So whenever something goes wrong, you don't have a finger to point now, because now it's
Mm.
like you have new head of Microsoft Gaming, not a gaming enthusiast, somebody who's curious and trying to learn.
Kudos.
Kind of I mean, kudos that that's your attitude. Weird that you're the one appointed.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's like you're there trying to learn and figure out what's like what to do, or like how this space works, but you're also the one in charge of the space.
Yeah.
So you know what? We'll see how that goes. But I'm not optimistic. But I haven't been optimistic about Xbox in a while.
Years, yeah. No, like I know one thing that really kind of raised eyebrows for me with all of her opening statements as well as how she's kind of reacting online is the return of Xbox thing. That's been the most eye-opening thing to me. Where it's just like, okay, what do you want to do here? What's your grand plan? Because like there were even people that were, putting a tag up with like, the old Xbox One case that says only for Xbox, where they were just like, hey, one of the great things that make a consoles is exclusives, like, that pushes to us want to own this console, whatever, and she responded to that saying, I hear you, stuff like that, like, acknowledging it. And that was part of her statement, where it's like, second, the return of Xbox, we will recommit to our core Xbox fans and players, those who have invested with us for the past 25 years, and to the developers who build the expansive universes and experiences that are embraced by players across the world. We will celebrate our roots with renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with console, which has shaped who we are. It connects us as players and fans who invest in Xbox, and to developers who build the ambitious experiences for it. Gaming now lives across devices, not within the limits of a single piece of hardware. To expand PC, mobile, cloud, Xbox should feel seamless, instant, and worthy of the communities we serve. We will break down barriers so developers can build once and reach players everywhere without compromise. So again, like it kind of makes me question. It's like, okay, what is your grand plan here for like? Are you actually going to attempt to backpedal on this huge multi-plat route that they've gone this past year?
I mean, you can't necessarily do it, because the other thing is you can't bring back like the power of the name of Xbox without having the games first. But you can't. You have to make the games and have the quality there that they haven't had in a decade, really.
True, true.
So it's like you have to rebuild the faith that Xbox can make the games,
Yep,
but nobody's gonna worry about the console until the games are there.
yep.
But to be able to survive, you're putting the games everywhere. So it's like you're gonna have to do that for a while. So the problem is the return of Xbox. I don't really foresee being a thing for
I
it.
don't either.
It's like
It's hard to.
if it could be a thing, if that could happen, it's a decade away at
Yeah,
least,
100%.
because
It's not this generation, that's for sure.
especially the with game development cycles, it's like big AAA games. They're on a 5-year cycle, really, to be made
Mhm.
these days. So it's like, yeah, you may have big games coming out this year or next year, which means you're probably 4 years out from a bunch of more like AAA games
Yeah.
coming out, or like maybe you have them hit over the next few years, but nobody. It's like you don't have the faith that whatever next console you're gonna put out, people are gonna want to buy, because we don't trust that you're gonna make the games for it.
Correct. Yeah, no, I mean, now if they stick to what we're assuming and they go that more PC, console friendly shell route, then cool, I guess. But it's also gonna be about that price point. But you know, you said a decade, and I can kind of agree to that, because it's like this generation's washed, it's done, right? Just make the best of it, move on, whatever. Um, I'm gonna be curious what like if they want to actively try to do that return to Xbox and maybe try to backpedal at least the slightest bit on this multi-plat route. What's going to be the game to do it? Is it going to be like an Elder Scrolls 6, right? Like it needs to be a big game because you already all of your pillars, you've already let them go. Like your pillars are on PlayStation or soon to be on PlayStation. Your 3 pillars, you've already opened the floodgates. Halo was the last standing bastion pillar, and now we have the campaign Evolved coming out.
I don't even think you could do it with Elder Scrolls because
I don't think so either.
Like Elder Scrolls is
that's gonna be a disaster idea.
It's like that. That would. It's like that's how you get people pissed off and to lose faith is to be like, oh yeah, that console that nobody wants to play. You have to come here to play one of the most anticipated games.
Yeah,
like in the last decade.
And it's one of and like listen, we both understand the importance of exclusives, but it's like when you have a brand that's incredibly damaged, that's where it's like we have to raise the questions. Like we get exclusives, but the brand is so damaged. Like if they did that, dude, oh buddy.
Yeah. The problem is, like you said, they don't have anything to to try to bring people over. They don't have any first parties that they can sit down with and go, this is what's going to bring you to Xbox. They'd have to have something new or to bring or like a reboot or something to try to bring people back.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe you do something that maybe you spend the next decade building up a new IP and you do some smaller games and you create your new pillars.
Mm-hmm.
And you do some smaller scale games and build them up. Kind of like I would say in a sense, kind of Sony with like their Astro.
I can see that, yeah.
Because like they had
Sony's pillars have changed.
Well, yeah, and it's like Sony's. It's like with Sony, they've. I mean, they had their like Astro. I mean, obviously Astrobot, but then they had Astro's Playroom. They had the Astro like VR games. And that it's like that built up over time and it's become essentially Sony's mascot.
Yeah. For us, yeah. No, for over here in the over here in the States, yeah, they saw our mascot.
And it's like maybe Xbox can do something like that. Build. It's like pick a couple things, couple different genres of game, maybe, and try to just build up your new pillars over time.
Yeah, because I mean the time thing is accurate. Because I mean Sony's pillars change. Because I mean we can look at the PS2 era and their pillars was Kratos, Ratchet, and I would argue Sly as well, like as 3 of their pillars.
I mean, one of those is still a pillar.
Exactly. One of those is still a pillar. And now we transfer to our generation, and now it's, Astro, it's Kratos, it's Aloy. Like, those are, like, their pillars now. So it's like their pillars changed. I mean, Xboxes can too. From, Chief to Marcus and a car with Forza, but the pillars can change if you just take time on it.
So it's like, yeah, maybe they can try to build up over time. I'm more curious because I look at like bringing essentially rebuilding Xbox or rebuilding the name of Xbox or something. Yeah, I look at that as like you could almost view it as instead of building the console, like the console name and the console power, or the power of the name, I guess is the way to say it, to try to get people to come back to it necessarily. Instead of that, you just build the name itself.
Yeah.
So it's like it's essentially trying to rebuild what they've been essentially just left to crumble for the last 8 to 10 years.
Right.
And like try to rebuild the faith in the brand as opposed to rebuild the console brand itself. Where it's like, yeah, we may not be the best console around, but you still want to come to us because you have faith in us. Because right now, nobody has faith in Xbox.
Facts. I will also say with the, Phil Spencer's retirement and stuff, there's obviously been a lot of, different conversation about it online. Because there's 2 different arguments that can be made with Phil and his time with Xbox. One is that he was absolutely terrible in the role because, like, look at the games that came out. Very valid. Very, very valid. There was no like set the world on fire games. There was a lot of disaster situations, but there was a lot of like just good games that came out. But then on the other side of the coin, like, created Game Pass, further pushed accessibility, made backwards compatibility a hard standard with how they approached it with Xbox. Like there was a lot of positives to what he brought.
His role was to try to grow the brand, not, and it's like, yeah, he didn't. They suffered a lot with games in general,
Yeah.
and yeah, their console name is basically worthless at this point.
Microsoft Gaming.
But also, like you said, they've created one of the largest brands in the world with Game Pass.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's one of the largest, most successful like gaming things out there.
Yeah.
With Game Pass. And it's like, yeah, it's not the way we wanted to see it go. And yeah, a lot of other things suffered under his leadership. But his entire role was basically experiment to try to grow the brand.
Yeah.
So he shot from the hip and he tried some weird shit.
That's true.
And not everything worked.
Yeah.
And he got a lot of heat, and he was the target for a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
But you know what? You got to respect, he tried just about anything.
Yeah, he did.
He was willing to be like,
roll the dice.
He was willing to go into meetings and someone pitched something and he would go, let's try it.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Look, like there's a lot of criticism that I think is justified with him, and while you were talking and describing this, I thought of another major person in the industry that's kind of similar, Jeff Keighley. As much as like criticism as both these guys deserve in their respective lanes that they stay in, what they mean well, right? They both mean well in their both respective lanes of what they were trying to accomplish. They're both gamers and they both mean well. So I got to give kudos for that. And it's also apparent, man, when you see Phil Spencer retire and everyone and their mother is praising him online and then thanking him and like wishing him the best. And I saw someone point this out. Boy, it was a totally different reception when Jim Ryan retired.
It's like
it's a totally different reception.
Because it's one where, for all of the faults and all of the blame and all of the times Phil Spencer had to sit in front of the camera while like Xbox and Microsoft just went, "You're eating this."
Yeah, go get punched in the face for
it's like
15 minutes.
It's your job. He would show up he would show up to every event. He would show up to every conference. He would show up to every Xbox showcase, every award show, every Keighley presentation.
Yeah.
He would come out in front with a smile on his face. And it's like he was there because he loved it.
Yeah. No.
And you know what? You got to respect him for that.
Yeah. Got to respect him.
It's like you respected him because he did a lot of shit people didn't agree with. But he was trying.
Yeah, he tried. He got dealt a horrible hand. Let's be fair. Let's be extremely fair. He got dealt a terrible hand.
Also, we also all recognize for the last 2 years, Xbox and Microsoft basically just been pushing him out there, going, "Hey, we know people like you.
Yeah. You're the one saving grace.
We got bad news. Go tell them.
Yeah, go tell them the bad news that's happening right now. That's beyond your control.
Yeah, it's not. You're not the one making the decision, or it's not your fault. But people like you, so you tell them."
Yeah, correct.
But yeah, no, it is that's kind of the difference there, because it's like we all look at him and we're like, "Yeah, you know what? You tried."
Yeah.
We look at Jim Ryan, we go, "Fuck you."
No, fuck Jim, man, dude. We're about to talk about PlayStation here in a minute because I got a question about everything that went down. But yeah, fuck Jim, fuck that guy. God, I can't stand Jim Ryan. Happy retirement, Phil, but fuck you, Jim. And fuck you for that special console and controller you got at your retirement that you will never use. We all know you don't use it. Dick. Anyway, the whole everything with the Xbox thing, it's all gonna be a wait and see. Saying the right things, but actions what's important.
Yeah, it's saying the right things, and the other thing is anything that happens, I would say in the next 2, maybe 3 years, you can't really attribute any of that to this new change and new direction that they're going for. Because anything in the next 2 to 3 years is stuff that is already in motion and has been in motion for an extended period of time.
Correct.
About 3.5, 4 years from now is when we're going to be seeing the effects of this change in leadership.
Yes. So, whenever Jim Ryan retired, we stress that, where it's just like, hey, like anything that comes out of these next few years, negative, good, whatever, like you have to attribute it to Jim, right? And it was also like that's why Jim got at least a decent boost when he came in, because he was thriving off of Sean Layden.
Yeah.
He was thriving off of Sean Layden's approvals and green lights.
Yeah.
So like when Jim Ryan started, it was like, oh yeah, great Jim Ryan. It's like no, that wasn't, that was Sean. That was not
like,
Jim.
That's one thing. That's why I wanted to mention is like you got to remember if this next year it's just win after win after win for Xbox. A lot of that's gonna be Phil.
Yeah.
A lot of that's gonna be stuff Phil approved.
Yeah, like
or maybe he's been helping with this transition process, and maybe some of this is gonna be attributed to her and that. But at the same time, it is what it is. It's gonna be I'd say 3 years before we see the true effects of this.
I agree, because like let's say Fable comes out this year and is absolute smashing success. Phil's regime. Clockwork Revolution comes out when it does, smashing success, Phil's regime. I mean, like obviously she's going to continue to help. Her and Matt are going to continue to help drive it along, but it was still the previous regime into this regime. So I'll be really curious to see like what she brings to the table, and as well as Matt now that he's in his new role, and what they can approve and greenlight, and what we'll see 2 years from now. What we'll see get revealed, next Xbox showcase in 2027. Like what's going to be revealed there? What's going to be revealed in 2028? That's what I want to see, because that's going to really kind of dictate on what they're working on and cooking. So anyway, let's shout out some Rogue Energy. Oh, I didn't update that. Oh well. Use the referral link down below, promo code Spark3 to get 10% off your order. We're picking Hydration, Chill, the Energy line. They're all fantastic. Recommend them all. But yeah, definitely head over to Rogue Energy. Referral link down below. Promo code Spark3 to get 10% off. They have a better sale going on. No big deal. The referral link still helps out the brand. You don't got to use a promo code. Again, Sparky3, 10% off. We'd appreciate that. Speaking of Jim Ryan and the disaster that he brought to PlayStation, let's talk about that, because I feel like we're still seeing the effects for it every single year, every single day. So the big bomb that dropped with PlayStation is Bluepoint Games has been shut down and will be disbanded here soon.
Such
wasted potential.
Oh, I don't want to say like horrible, but a baffling decision.
It's mind-boggling to me.
It's like, I get that, yes. The whole, I know you're probably going to get into it, but the whole live service God of War thing is probably the nail in the coffin, or was probably the nail in the coffin for him.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's like you let them experiment with it for a little bit and then decided it's not for you. They were still a cash cow for you.
Yeah, and yet Sony thinks they didn't have the market value to do something. It's like, what do you mean? Look at the games they put out for you.
It's like, yeah, the games that they put out for you, they're not going to be like the ones that are tearing up headlines, smashing records. They're going to be the ones that quietly sit in the background. It's going to be like kind of the effect, I've mentioned this before, of like Horizon when it first came out. That game wasn't a smashing success when it came out. That game sat in the background and just sold copies.
Yep.
That's Bluepoint Games.
Yeah.
All of their games, they just sit there and people find them. It's like people will know about them and pick them up eventually.
Yeah.
And it's one where it's like they were the developer that you could sit there and go, "Hey, we want could you come up with, or could you work on something for the next 2-3 years and then just make a bunch of money for us?" Yeah. What do you want us to remake?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like that was their bread and butter.
It's like you could have just let them sit there and do that, but no, we got to close them down.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get picked up by. That whole team deserves to be picked up by somebody.
Yeah, no, the whole team deserves to be picked up by someone. Hopefully we have, honestly, the most ideal scenario is, please, let's have like a Tango Gameworks situation where someone just like, yeah, we'll just pick up the whole studio. You can keep the name and everything. Let's make a transition happen, whatever. But so looking at the stuff Bluepoint's done, right? Obviously they launched on the PS5, launch title, Demon Souls remake. Very impressive.
One of the most highly regarded games of that year.
Yeah. Shadow Colossus remake on the PS4. Goated game on the PS2 remade. Gravity Rush Remastered, which objectively is their lowest rated game at 8.0. 8.0 is their lowest rated remaster remake. Uncharted Collection 8.6. Metal Gear Solid HD Edition 8.9. Ico and Shadow Colossus Collection 9.2. God of War Collection 9.1.
Yeah, it's like you could just let them sit there, remaster, remake games, and you would just in the background be making money.
Yeah. And like I want to go ahead and address this as well. Per an interview with a Bluepoint employee, apparently Bluepoint is the one that approached Sony with the idea of the God of War live service. Okay, kudos to them for being experimental, but don't shut them down when it didn't work. Send them back what worked.
That's one thing we've talked about before as well. It's like you have this studio that's done all this work and been super successful for you, and then they come and they want to try something.
Yeah.
So you let them try something. If that doesn't work, you don't fire everybody.
Yeah. Especially when like they have the track record they do.
Yeah, well that's the thing. It's like, oh, we've earned enough money for you. We want to pitch you an idea and just try it. Yeah. We don't know if it's going to work, but we want to experiment.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like you work on it for a little while and then come back and they go, well, we don't think so, so we're going to cancel that.
Yeah.
Also, because you did that, goodbye.
Yeah, basically. Like, look, I can get a situation like, let's say, with Concord, because if I remember correctly, the Concord studio, that was their debut game. So I get that. No track record to support trying to do something else. But like Bluepoint has that track record. So it's like, yeah, they were missing deadlines apparently. They were having a struggle adjusting to the scale of a live service game, right? Compared to what they've done. Yeah. So it's like, okay, I get canceling that, but like they launched Demon Souls for you in 2020 with the console. I think it was the only PS5 launch title, that and Astro's Playroom. I think they were the only actual PS5 only, because even Miles Morales was on the PS4.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of PS4, PS5 games, and then Demon Souls.
Yeah, so 2020, they did that. Sony buys them in 2021, and they never have a chance to do anything. Because like you canned them when this didn't work, when they were out of their element. Like just send them back to something else. Like, and apparently there was 4 other projects pitched, 2 of them being single player remakes. A lot of people are jokingly saying, I bet one was Bloodborne. And those all got shut down. And Sony's like, I don't think you have the market appeal and value. Like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, so my question is this the worst era for Sony? Like for PlayStation history? Because it sure as shit feels like it. PS5 feels like the worst generation for Sony. Like it's got some great games that has come out, but the number for it is pretty slim.
It's hard to say that it's the worst era because it's hard to say that. It's the comparison, because if you're going to compare this era to anything else, what are you going to look at? You're going to look at the previous era? You're going to look at the PS4 generation? Mm-hmm. That's unfair.
That is unfair. The PS4 generation is goated.
It's like, that's unfair to look back at. That's like, it's like, I mean, that was the unfortunate thing about the Xbox One era is you look back, it's like, why couldn't you be the Xbox 360? It's like, well, nobody could.
Yeah, exactly. That was lightning in a bottle.
But yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's not a great era, but it's hard to say it's not a great era too, because the PS5, like the PS5 selling point right now is the fact that it is where you go for the exclusives. It's where you go for the great games and everything. And it has had them. So it's like, it's hard to say that it's the worst era. Is it the worst era for, I mean, is this generation in general the worst era for like probably games and developers and the people who actually work on the games? Yeah. Because it's like this era has been terrible for that, because it's had probably the most layoffs and shutdowns ever.
Yeah.
But it's like if you try to speak game wise, man, it's hard to say, because it's had some of the best games come out in this generation.
Right.
It's
definitely the worst managed.
It's probably I was gonna say it's the most mismanaged.
Yeah, 1000%.
It's like from every side. I mean, we just spent, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes talking about how bad Xbox has been.
True.
It's like the past 10 years really has probably been the most mismanaged like era for all of gaming.
Yeah, no, it has because I mean, like with the Sony thing, they've bought like 20 studios, whatever, and they've closed 11 of them. And to further add to that, let me see. Out of those 2010 was purchased since 2019. Three have closed. Half of them haven't even shipped a game, and many got hit with layoffs. So, man, we want to talk about mismanagement, and I'm telling you right now, everything we see now is still the ripples of Jim Ryan's. That's
Well,
why we ended the other segment earlier with
What's
"fuck Jim Ryan."
That's like half of the studios that have closed were ones that he was trying to make work on live service games.
Yeah, which actually I've got a tweet here I want to shout out because I saw this and I thought it was really interesting with the conversation. It's from Jake Randall. Says Sony will never say it publicly, but their goal is just to create one live service game as close as possible to the popularity of Fortnite. Newsflash: it's never going to happen. They intentionally keep AAA single player games to the bare minimum on purpose. They make as many as they feel necessary to keep the fan base on board while rooting for one of their live service games to take off. Sony, with all due respect, you suck at live service and it's not what we want. You're digging your own grave. Rethink what you're doing. Flip your focus back to the single player experiences.
Okay, I was thinking about live service games the other day. I was actually having this thought process the other day.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of glad you said this because it reminded me of this. The problem is Sony does not understand what they need for a live service game to be.
Yeah.
The scale of what a live service game success is not what Sony wants.
Yeah.
A successful live service game is a game. I'll give you the perfect name of a successful live service game. First Descendant.
Sure.
Because you know what happened there? That game came out, had several 100,000 people playing it for 2 months. I was one of them. I had hundreds of hours put into it in the first month and a half of that game. I haven't touched it since. You know who has? Probably the 10 or like 5,000 people. I don't know how many people are playing it still. But across all platforms, there are probably 10 to 15,000 people that play that game is enough to keep that game successful.
Right.
That is not big enough for Sony to look at and be like, that's a successful game. But for a live service game, you don't need that many people. A successful live service game can survive off of 2,000 people probably. Because it's
depending
like
on the game, yeah.
Yeah, it's like depending on the scale and the size of the game.
Yeah.
You can have a fraction of the players and a fraction of the sales, but it's like the people that are going to be there they're going to try their best to support that game. And it's just one where the scale of Sony, they're looking for their $1 billion success. That's not your live service game. Your live service game is what you want is that game to explode for 3 months and be the talking point of the gaming world. And then you want that game to simmer and just exist with its community.
Yeah.
And it's like you're not going to get the constant 300, 400,000 people playing that game or 1 million people playing that game daily.
Right.
It's like they wouldn't have a studio. They wouldn't know how to do that. They wouldn't have people that could. They don't have the infrastructure for it. Even if they had one of their games pop off by now, wouldn't have worked. But it's like live service games are completely different.
Yeah.
They exist. They exist to just be there for people to play whenever they want. And that's I think that's part of the problem. That's why you see independent studios or people like that. They make the game and they're like, this is all we do is we make this game.
Yeah.
And that's why you see a lot of them come out. A lot of them come out. It's like they come out in waves, really. And maybe soon we'll be having another wave of them come out, and I'll have a great time.
The Cube.
It's like because whenever we have waves of them come out, it's when you get me on here for an entire year. Every 3 months, I'll be talking about a different live service game that I'm in love with at the time.
The John update of the week.
But it's like it doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
It's like Sony's going to look at a live service game and be like, that game's not going to have 1 million players active at all times. Fucking barely any game does these days.
Yeah, good luck, brother.
It's like there's so many games out there right now. It's like games that maintain like 1 million players a day. Fucking rare.
Yeah. No, it is. And still talking on live service, and then I after that I also want to address chat real quick as well. And just how bad of a streamer I am for not seeing chat right away. My fault. With live service games, I know like a lot of people are also just in that mindset of, oh man, I'm sick of live service. I'm sick of games as a service. And so I do want to defend them to a point. Like, They are good to have for the industry because, like, as we see every single day, especially as of right now with this year and how it's going. I mean, good example. Steam decks are completely sold out and sold out for the foreseeable future due to the memory stuff. Xbox, new Xbox and PS6 have been delayed, which that's a good thing. Let's be honest, that's a good thing. But been delayed due to memory shortages. Like game prices are increasing. The everyday gamer is kind of getting pushed out of gaming, right? Because everything's going up. So like live service and service games are they're a good thing to have, but I do understand the fatigue when you have situations like Concord, for example, and just Sony getting away from things that you love to try to shift to this. But like there's like a firm middle ground you can be on for where you can have both. Because I think live service and game service is a good thing for the industry when the everyday gamer is getting pushed out, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that only play free to play games. Because
Yeah.
like, hey, this I don't want to buy games, is what I can afford.
Yeah. It's just one where it's like Sony, their big problem was for some reason they saw potential in the one that everybody was like, why would you ever pick that?
True. But also addressing chat, shout to Mass Produce. I don't know if you're still here. I didn't have chat popped up over here, and I did not have it on OBS. My fault. I'm a bad streamer. My bad. But he did mention involving the Bluepoint thing that from what he heard that the devs are getting relocated internally. I hope that's the case. Yeah. I hope to God that's the case because they got shafted straight up. But honestly, if you were doing that, just let them go do something else. Let them go do a remake or a remaster.
Yeah, it doesn't. If you're keeping everybody and just shifting them around, keep the team together. What are you gonna do? Move the entire team to somewhere else, give them a new name, and have them do the same work.
Exactly.
Why you have the established name?
Yeah, you have the name that people know. It's just like, oh, that's the remake remaster. There's nothing wrong with being the remake remaster studio either, because it's like what you talk about all the time. It's like making games more like available and accessible, whatever. It's like it's great. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a Bloodborne one. Do Bloodborne.
Yeah, Sony hates it.
I know. They really do, man. They hate Bloodborne and Bloodborne fans for whatever reason. It's like that game is still capped at like 30 FPS. Everyone's like, I just want 60. That's all I want. You can leave the game the same. Just make it 60. Please. Oh, God. No, is this the worst era for PlayStation? I mean, you bring up a lot of solid points. We've had a lot of great games, like from third parties as well as first parties. It's just definitely the most mismanaged.
Management-wise, yes.
Disaster.
It's like
disaster.
Management-wise, it's probably the worst era across the board.
Yeah. Just absolute disaster. Like just this whole generation of gaming just feels so weird. Like I've made a video about this forever ago. It actually did pretty well on numbers. Shout out to that. Thanks to everyone that watched it. Where I just went on a ramble for 10 minutes. I think we were on a break one week or something. And I just went on a ramble for 10 minutes. Like, yeah, this gaming generation just feels so freaking weird because of just how mismanaged it is. And just the amount of closures, layoffs, this, cancel this. It's just a weird generation, man.
One of my favorite things I've seen, this is completely tangent, but I've been seeing these posts every now and then. Been seeing them a lot lately.
Yeah.
And it's related to GTA 6 where people will take screen caps from GTA 6 footage and then like screen caps from GTA 5 footage and they're like comparing it and they're like, man, GTA 6 makes GTA 5 look like a PS3 game. And then there'll be a comment on it and be like, it'll be like, boy, you're never going to believe this.
GTA 5, bro. It's transitioned so many generations.
It's I see so many variations of that where it's somebody comparing it and be like, man, this game looks like it's for the PS3 compared to this. It's like, oh, man, you haven't been around. You weren't here. You weren't here back then, I guess.
You're in for a surprise there, brother.
Yeah. You'll never believe this. It was made for it.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact that it still holds up to this day is wild.
It's also the kind of this in another genre. I see the same thing every once in a while where someone just drops a friendly reminder. Hey guys, just friendly reminder. Persona 5 came out on the PS3, and I'm like, oh shit, it did, didn't it? That was a long time ago, man. I forgot.
The art style helps that game.
The art style helps that game a lot. You're right. But yeah, no, the GTA. I see those same memes where it's just like It's just like, hey, friendly reminder, buddy. It did come out on the PS3. It's just like, oh man, that game has transcended generations, dude. It's just like the Skyrim meme too, man. 11, 11, 11, 360 PS3 generation, still being re-released all the time. Like, God bless. One other thing I wanted to add on is kind of like a little bit of a side tangent, to an extent with all the conversation with Xbox and PlayStation and stuff, is because, like, obviously, as you know, and I know, there's negativity around this all the time. But I'm gonna go ahead and just say the facts of the matter when it comes to all of the consoles that people don't always want to admit. But like, brothers, listen, Nintendo won the console wars a long time ago, and I feel like that continues to be reign true. I mean, like they exist in their own ecosystem, they do their own thing, right? I feel like with Nintendo, they've got their formula, and they don't care fail or success. They're going to keep doing their formula, and it works, and sometimes doesn't. It mostly works. So it's like, I wanted to bring that up because I just see so much all the time about PlayStation this, PlayStation that, fuck Xbox this, whatever, blah blah, and then also just like super anti Nintendo. I'm like, dude, I understand why you don't want to get Nintendo. I very valid, but like they do their own thing and they're super successful at it. You
Yeah.
can't even compare them. Like they just exist.
That's one where I looked up recently, like best selling consoles of all time, just because I was curious about it. You know how it is. You get curious every now and then, and it's one where it's like you look at it, and it's like that list is dominated by Sony.
Oh yeah,
Sony has cleared everybody there. Unless you're Nintendo, and then it's just like you have PS2 at the top, and then it's just like Nintendo, then there's all of Sony.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's like Sony exists or Nintendo exists in their own little bubble. And yes, they are massive. But in general gaming news, like if you pay attention to the big showcases and all that, and like Keighley shows and that, you would assume Nintendo just doesn't exist anymore.
Yo, facts.
Meanwhile, they're just sitting over there outselling everybody.
I know. They're just doing their own thing, man.
It's like they sit over there and they outsell everybody. Granted, they do a lot of shit that people don't like.
Very, very
They
true.
do a lot of shit that pisses everybody off.
It's like
if you know about if you're in the Nintendo world, yeah, there's a lot of times where you have to sit back and go, "Come on, Nintendo. You just had to be quiet."
Yeah.
But at the same time, they probably, I think they have the most loyal fan base out of anybody.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%.
By far.
Yeah. Yeah, because stuff's going to sell no matter what. Like, it's going to sell no matter what.
Yeah, people will sit there and go, "Fuck Nintendo, but I'm buying your games."
Exactly. That's me. I'm that guy.
Fuck you, Nintendo. Sell me it again.
Yeah. Let me buy it for a 14th time, please. Oh, God. No, very, very accurate, man. It's so funny to watch the three exist because it's like, dude, what you said is so true about all these like big showcase Keighley shows. Nintendo's literally almost never there. Like
They just don't exist.
yeah, it's like if you're not deep into the gaming industry, following, let's say Nintendo, and like you only play like maybe PC and Xbox, and you didn't really give a shit about news and stuff, you would think that Nintendo's just doing terrible because there's never there.
They don't get advertised at any of the same showcases or anything. They're not anywhere in the big awards. It's like even on a good Nintendo year, like the only showcase they're gonna show up at is maybe Game Awards.
Game Awards would be it, yeah.
And
they always have stuff nominated.
That would just be for nominations.
Yeah,
They're not gonna have any announcements or anything there.
Yeah, I think one of the last announcements Nintendo had there was off the dome, and obviously I could be extremely wrong, was Joker getting added to Smash. Because I remember that clip very, very well.
Oh yeah, but at that point it's like we haven't. It's been no Smash news, so it's like they have no need to be there.
Yeah, exactly. They'll just do their own Nintendo Direct. Everything will be fine. I don't know. It's so fascinating to watch how everyone operates. It really is. It's so fascinating. But anyway, let me shout out some merch. Let's go to spark3shop.com, pick up some merch. Where their fit is the Do Better shirt. 7 out of 10 is a good game because 7 out of 10 is, in fact, a good game. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. If it's a 7, it's playable. Go play it. Unprofessional, one of the hats, a hoodie, the B shirt, whatever. Go pick up some merch. We'd appreciate the extra support. Speaking of Nintendo, They started off the day of news. So the rumored Fire Emblem Leaf Green ports are true. $20 a piece. I know we talked about that last week. You were like, no more than 10.
Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, they're there. Okay. Here's one thing that I saw. I saw this video earlier, and it's actually it calmed me down about the whole situation a lot more.
Okay.
Because I was irritated when I see the price. Like I get the price, but
Yeah.
it's still I get irritated by it.
By knee-jerk reaction default, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I saw a video and it was a guy talking about it. He's like, because a large part of the community is mad because it's not NSO.
Yeah, that's yeah.
But I was watching this video and this guy's like, I get why people would want it to be on NSO, but think about it. The nice thing about it not being on NSO is you can buy it and own it and play it without the need for NSO, which is a nice because it's like if you wanted to just play it through NSO, you have to pay for the
subscription.
subscription, and then if you want to play it at any point in time, you're gonna have to always have the subscription. That's $50 a year.
Mm.
If you want to just buy the game, $20 is $20. You can pick it up and play it again if you want to. If you don't want to, you basically have to go back to your Game Boy to play it if you want to play it legally. So but it's one where is the idea of buying and owning the game and not having to pay for a subscription to be able to access the game. I'm like, you know what? Fair enough.
Mhm.
It's like that's a fair enough argument for it. And then he basically ended the video. He's like, pricing wise, we're not going to talk about pricing wise because that is what it is. Everybody has their own situation. Price is going to your point of your point of saying no is going to be different per person for what the game is. Granted, like I said, no more than $10. I kind of said it as a joke, but at the same time, it's real. I don't want to pay any more than that for a game that I've bought a couple times and played over and over again already.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just one where I hate to say it, but being able to it is part of what I've been advocating for.
Yeah, it is.
Making the games more accessible and bringing them into the current generation of games. I hate to say it. I got to eat that on this one because I've been advocating for it and it's here. I'm personally against the price point because I do think it is expensive to charge $20 for a game that is
like 20 years old.
20 plus years old at this point.
A port.
Yeah, and it's a port of the game.
Yeah.
It's like that bothers me. But that's Nintendo. I'm surprised they didn't charge more actually.
I'm surprised it wasn't 30. I'm gonna be brutally honest.
Yeah, I was expecting 30. That's why I made the that's why I initially said 10 because I expected 30. 20 is still not I won't buy it.
Yeah.
But it is one where I do kind of have to sit back a little bit and go, it is making these games more accessible. Granted, they are older games. If we're going to do this, why are we only doing it for Fire Red and Leaf Green and not bringing all of them in?
Yeah, correct.
It's like, bring more of them in if you're going to make this play. Quit bringing goddamn Kanto in.
God, we're so tired of Kanto.
It's like bring me other generations in. Hell, bring me Gen 5 in. Bring me shit like that. I'd be more open to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fire Red, Leaf Green, it's part of my irritation is the choice of games that we're going with. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is.
I mean, I understand why it was those specifically, because we are about to reach the 10th anniversary. So it's a nod of, hey, where we started. But I mean, if you want to do that, you could have done Red and Blue again because they've ported that up before. But I understand why you're going to do Fire Red, Leaf Green. My stances on it is a lot of what you talked about is that we are establishing a narrative that these games are not going to go to NSO, a pre-established service that you have that has Game Boy Advance, that has GameCube, that has all these games that the same argument could have been applied to a lot of those notable ones, right? Obviously, there's some of those on the service that no one would ever purchase probably, but there's a lot of notable games on there that people would have bought like they did buy on the 3DS Virtual Console or on the Wii U Virtual Console. Because those Virtual Consoles, buddy, I don't know if you ever bothered to look through them when the service was active. They were stacked with games. It was crazy. Everything that you could buy on the Virtual Console for the Wii U and 3DS. So it's like you have this established service where it's like $50 to $80 a year, I think, depending on if you get the expansion pack. I think the expansion pack is like $80 a year. It might be the family pack that I'm thinking of, because I know you're on mine.
Yeah.
I think it's like $80, whatever, which is $80 for a year for the amount of games I get. I really don't care because I still use it.
It's like
but
I don't use it a ton, but when I
it's
get on
nice to
my
have.
when I get on my Switch, I do every now and then open it up. I'm
yeah.
what's in here?
Yeah, like it's nice to have, but like there is that little bit of a botherment factor for me that we are setting a new establishment that like these games are going for sale and they're not going. But I understand why, because at the end of the day, it's the #1 media franchise in the planet,
It's
not
like,
even gaming, just in general.
I get why you're doing it, but at the same time, you are then taking those games and saying these are too good for our other service.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like everything that's in this service isn't good enough to stand on its own.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that's where it kind of bothers me a little bit. Price point wise, I mean, like you just said, $20 is $20. I mean, it's $20.
Yeah.
I will say, like, I understand why it's 20. It's kind of the same concept of why Nintendo made Mario Kart World the first $80 game, is because they're milking you for the IP, because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold so much.
Yeah.
And this is a game that's going to sell a lot. They're milking for Pokemon. I get it. It's $20. I'm not going to make a huge stink about it. It's $20. I wish it would have been lower.
It's like I wish it would have been lower
for a Game Boy Advance game, please.
Yeah. Like I wish it would have been lower, but at the same time, I understand it because they know everybody's itching for Pokemon news, and some people aren't going to want to wait until next week to hear about what's coming 7 months from now.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean they're pretty much, they're going to be available next week too. Digital only releases, except if you're in Japan, you get a really sick physical edition, but it's still
the physical edition for that is
sick. Although it's download code in a box, which I hate. But the crystals of the 3 starters, unbelievable, so cool, so cool. But
that's worth it.
That is worth it 1,000%. No, I just don't like that we're setting a new narrative that certain games can go for sale and not in NSO, and others go to NSO. That's the problem that I had with the announcement.
Yeah,
I get it, but it still bothers me because at the end of the day, like the price for it is legitimately not a huge deal, because the physical copy is going for like $150 damn dollars. So it's like, cool, $20 I can play Leaf Green, because like I would have to replace the battery on my cartridge, because I would turn it on and be like, hey, your battery's dried out or whatever. Because I know for my Hoenn games, they pop up with that every time I'd pop them in. So it'd probably be the same thing for my Leaf Green or Fire Red. It's like, hey, your battery's run dry.
I haven't checked mine recently,
It's
but they would probably... They would probably have that at this point.
Yeah, so like I mean, it's whatever in terms of price. Again, my biggest problem is the NSO selling point. Like that's like, okay, I understand what we're doing. And I also saw other people say, oh, well, if they put out Heart Gold, Soul Silver, no one would bat an eye. I disagree. I think we would still probably complain. We would be a little bit happier because we're all Kantoed out. And those are great games that, yes, involve Kanto, but that's the second part. But yeah, it's different. It's different.
The other thing is some of us are more nostalgic for Generation 2 than Generation 1.
Yeah.
Granted, Generation 1 this is my first generation. It's not my favorite generation.
Yeah, it's not mine. That's for damn sure.
But yeah, no, it's more where if they put Heart Gold, Soul Silver out, would I complain about it? That would entirely depend on the pricing.
Yeah, correct.
Because if they put it out for $20, would I complain about it? Probably not. Would that make me a hypocrite? Probably.
At least you're honest about it. Also, we did get the confirmed date and time for the Pokemon Presents, though. It's going to be next Friday, the 27th at 8 a.m. Central Time. It's set to be 25 minutes long. It's going to be like the longest in like at least 6 years. I don't know if something has been longer before that. But, I mean, with the kind of announcements and everything going to be in there that we're expecting, makes sense. You'll have probably quick minute on Fire Red, Leaf Green. You'll probably have a minute or two on Pokopia that's about to come out. You'll probably have a 3-4 minute thing on Champions. Quick updates on all the quick games, Cafe Remix, Unite, Masters, and Sleep, and then it's time to get to the big stuff of Champions and Gen 10.
Yeah, it's like we'll get the 5-minute segment of all of those games.
Yeah,
and
maybe a Legends update. Yeah, And then
let's just let that one sit.
we had the DLC. Let's go ahead and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully they leave the meat of it at the end.
Oh yeah.
The problem is I have a feeling that like the whole sleep and unite and all that segment is going to take up too much time.
Yeah. I'm just so excited to see Wind and Wave. Like I'm so like, or Winds and Waves. I don't know if it's got the S or not. Who gives a shit? But I'm so excited for Gen 10.
It's like just give me a good.
I'm so excited.
Give me a good meaty section on that.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily need release date yet. I want a meaty section showing me what the world is gonna look like. I want to see my 3 starters.
Very true.
And then I want to see 2026. I'll be good with that for now.
Yeah.
And then end it with like, and we'll tell you more in a dedicated Nintendo Direct, like in summer.
Yeah, in summer.
Or some shit like that. Yeah. Tell me that.
Yeah, it would be a very pleasant surprise to get that release date, so I can go ahead and get it on my calendar, get it on my little home screen countdown thing I like to do. But I'm expecting just 2026 will follow up later.
We would assume
November is what
I was gonna say October to November range, somewhere in there, in that fall season, fall to winter.
Yeah, I need to know so I can put my time off for it, because that is a game that I will be taking time off for, as I usually do with the main generation games. I did for Gen 8 and Gen 9, and I will definitely be doing it for 10, especially if it's everything that we have been told and seen with the leaks. I will 1000% be taking a few days off and diving into that world, so I'm very excited. Speaking of Pocopia, though, one thing I wanted to shout out, which was honestly, funny enough, my selling point on the game, is that there was a big interview about it, talking about like all the different elements of the game. Like one thing is that the game is run in real time, so you can hop on different days and times to experience possibly different Pokemon coming in and how to summon those Pokemon and shit, shit like that. But one thing I did like is they talked about how there is a cloud save island feature where you and some 3 other friends, whatever, can all be on the same world together, and it's similar to like a Minecraft server, a paid server, where the host does not have to be online for that person to join. I thought that was sick. I thought that was cool. So that literally sold me on the game right there. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yo, I will fuck up your island,
dude. You're not allowed in there if that's the case, brother.
Oh, unlikely.
Unlikely, he says. No,
you'll be dying to get someone to come hang out on your island.
No, look,
and I'll be the only one that's on your Switch playing it.
No, Christina's getting it too.
Well, so. Yeah, I'm gonna be the only one not in your household. That's
fair. That's fair. Okay, that's valid. That's valid. So yeah. That alone sold me on the game, though. You're not allowed to mess up the island, though.
Yeah,
you're banned from that.
Yeah, which although as much as we've kind of given it a whatever when we've talked about it previously, I am planning on playing this game. I will be picking this up and playing this, and hopefully thoroughly enjoying it.
The more we've gotten closer to it, and the more it's been talked about, it looks like it's just a really entertaining game. The early hands-on previews for it have all said, "Yo, Nintendo might have like a gem on their hands."
By everything we've seen since the initial reveal of it, it looks like it is just the chill game, the chill island Pokemon do whatever you want to type game, where you can just lose time in.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I'm very excited. It comes out literally like 2 weeks, I think. I have it countdown on my phone. Let's see, 12 days. 12 days from this episode that we are live for. So pretty exciting. I need to go put another pre-order in for a second copy. But no, I'm pretty excited for it. I'm looking forward to it here coming up very shortly. Let's see, moving to the rest of the weekly wrap up, we had a Todd Howard interview. Just a couple bullet points to shout out. Number 1, shuts down to Starfield 2.0, but does say that updates are coming. Says the Elder Scrolls 6 is coming back to a classic Bethesda game like Oblivion and Skyrim.
This part worries me because we would hopefully be under the impression that this game has been in development for years.
Yeah, for quite some time. Yeah.
And hopefully getting an announcement this year in summertime is what we would be hoping for with a hopefully 2026, 2027 release date.
Yep.
If he's coming out in 2026 saying, "Hey, don't worry, guys, Elder Scrolls 6 is going back to basics," when the fuck did you start that?
Yeah.
Is that something recent that you've decided you need to backpedal and do, or has this been something that was already happening
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, we never told people this?
Yeah. No, he did say it's going to be a while before the game comes out. And I'm just like, and he also talked about like, yeah, this game just got revealed way too early. He even basically admitted what you've joked about before on the show, where it's like, it was literally just revealed to get people to stop asking about, is it real? Yes, it's real. Okay.
Well, it's not real.
Yeah. Yeah. In John terms, it's still
Well,
not real.
you can
It's
say
the Digimon Survive.
you can say in my terms it's not real. It's been 5 years. We
I know.
haven't seen anything on
I
it.
know.
We haven't seen anything on it. And the only time he talks about it is when he's like, "Stop fucking asking me."
I know.
He's like, "We're working on it."
Actually, it's been longer. It's been 7 years. It was 2019, the last E3. God, that's damn it,
But
Todd.
it's been 7 years since you showed that you're going to be working on it. It's been what? This is 3 years since Starfield, because Starfield was 2023.
Yeah, 3 years.
And
So it should be all go on this.
but you would assume that once Starfield shipped, you would have the main team move over to Elder Scrolls, and then you would have your team that just is there to update
Yep.
Starfield from there. If that's the case, based on assuming a 5-year cycle on a game,
Yeah.
we should get a trailer this year.
Yep.
If we're not, and if we're still several years away, you have like Bethesda, you don't have any bargaining room anymore.
Right? It's like, is the game even a concept anymore?
It's like it's like you're approaching the point where people are stopping to believe in you, because the last
Right.
thing you've given us, it's like, yeah, we got Oblivion remaster / remake. I mean, cool. Before that, you gave us Starfield and then tried to convince us that Starfield was good.
Mhm.
When are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when you finally release this game after a decade, and it's the same generic game?
Yeah. Generic Bethesda game.
It's like, yeah, it's generic Bethesda, generic fantasy Bethesda game number 6.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, you know,
Losing faith.
it's been too long.
Losing faith. You know, where it's almost one of those things where I'm to a point, to an extent, I almost want to mute the words Elder Scrolls 6 on Twitter so it doesn't pop up anymore, because it's like, I don't care at this point until I have substantial news.
It's like when you do finally show something on it, you can't get away with a 30-second trailer.
Oh yeah,
You
facts.
can't get away with a 10 to 30-second trailer on it.
Facts.
When you finally show it off, that motherfucker's got to be like a 5 to 10 minute deep dive, showing gameplay, showing everything, and you better fucking come with a release date.
Yeah, a release window, please.
Oh no, a date.
John is hammering the date. Okay.
Think about it. It's been 7 years.
Since reveal, yeah.
It's 7 years since reveal. Hell, fucking what was it? I'm blanking on the franchise. It was the Nintendo Bayonetta 3 was like a 6-year.
Oh yeah, Bayonetta 3 and Prom 4.
Yeah. Well, but Bayonetta 3 was like 6 years between release and then hearing nothing, and then they finally just released the game.
Yeah.
Like Prime 4, at least we had news about it.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Bayonetta 3 was just like, we don't.
It'll come out eventually.
It wasn't even that. It was just, we're not going to say anything. we're not going to say anything. And then when it finally got shown off with a release date, they came out and went, yeah, we've been done for years.
Right.
Like, we don't know what took so long.
Yeah. Nintendo loves to do this shit.
But it's like, by the time they finally show something to us, if it's not this year, it's like, it's been nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
You better release a fucking masterpiece.
I know. That's my mindset.
If you don't release a masterpiece and you release a fucking 7 out of 10 game,
oh,
it's like we said, nothing wrong with 7 out of 10 game. You can't tease people for a decade.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with 7 out of 10, but like in certain circumstances, there's something wrong with it, and in that kind of circumstance, there's something wrong with it. You know, like oof, because it's kind of like, you know, the narrative that I tried to pitch on Starfield. Like if this game wasn't a masterpiece, it was a failure because of how much they talked about it leading up to it. Because like this is a game they wanted to make in the early 2000s, And it's like my verdict was before it came out: if this game's not a masterpiece, it's going to be a failure. Like it doesn't matter if it's an 8 out of 10 game. If it's not a masterpiece, if it's not a 10 out of 10, it's a failure because of what went into it. And that's kind of how I feel about Elder Scrolls 6 at this point. It's like the same vibes I had towards Starfield is how I feel towards ES6, and it's even bigger because it is an established franchise that has one of the greatest games ever created in it. So it's just like, ugh. Todd, you better deliver, brother.
Not gonna.
You better figure it out.
Not gonna. Gonna be a mediocre game.
Yeah. Next thing I've got, because I already kind of touched on that earlier. Ubisoft, because we care about that, announced 2 new Far Cry games and several Assassin's Creed games in development, single player and multiplayer. Ooh, Far Cry and Assassin's Creed.
Good.
Woo!
Sure.
Woo!
Sure. I don't know if there's 2 franchises you could name where people would be less excited.
Yeah, you want to talk about Kanto fatigue over in Pokemon? Let's talk about Far Cry and Assassin. Let's talk about Ubisoft fatigue, because Ubisoft fatigue is real. It is very real
Because
it's the same games,
they released the same game with a new name,
a new skin.
and it's just never good.
No. Like again, one of my favorite jokes in this show with Avatar. It's like, yeah, that's a cool. What was it like? That's a cool skin for a Far Cry game, is what you said. Accurate. They should have launched Avatar with the 3rd-person mode that they just came out recently. They would have done that. I think it would have been like released with a lot higher praise. But like it literally released. It's like, oh yeah, this is like a Far Cry game, but with an Avatar skin.
I mean, yeah. I've got no faith in anything Ubisoft does.
Yeah, I will say Avatar is one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. That game is gorgeous.
Let me rephrase that. Ubisoft is gonna make. They are gonna do their best, and they're gonna make a 7 out of 10 game.
Correct. That is what Ubisoft.
They're gonna make a 7. They're gonna make their Far Cry game is gonna be a standard Far Cry game.
Yep, it's nice 7 out of 10.
And their Assassin's Creed game is gonna be an Assassin's Creed game.
Nice 7 out of 10.
They have not figured out what Assassin's Creed is ever since they've changed what the game was.
Yes, correct. It has been derailed for quite some time. See, next thing. So Nier Automata has apparently sold over 10 million units and confirmed to continue in a 9th anniversary event. So shout out to that. Xenoblade Chronicles X Nintendo Switch 2 edition was announced. The digital is out right now, and there's a physical copy that is coming out.
Phenomenal.
Dude, I still want to play this game.
It looks so good now.
Yeah. No, it comes out April 16th. Shout out to my mom. That's her birthday. But no, I still desperately want to get into the Xenoblade franchise. This one is a standalone. You can just kind of pick this one up and play it. So I don't know. This could be my first one, or I could finally just get around to playing the first Xenoblade Chronicle. I still really just want to play this franchise. I want to get in this franchise so bad. It's one of my goals for this year is when I have a free moment in games, which realistically should have been this month, but I was also working on my already existing backlog. I'm going to jump into this franchise at some point. I really want to play it. Highguard is apparently not dead yet. Wildlight did confirm a new patch coming out. There was a lot of questions that it was going to die because the website was down for like a day, and apparently it was just because they were transferring servers or something. But there was a lot of questions.
Well,
it's kind of sus.
The website went down, and they were asked about it, and they were like, compared to the other problems we have, that's low priority.
Yeah, I know, and I was just like, you know what, valid, because like one dev literally said, rep damage is already done. That's low priority at this point. I was like, hey, at least you're honest. I appreciate honesty. Kristen Bell has been cast as Amy in Sonic 4, so that's exciting. And then the last thing to touch on is just the Crimson Desert hype. The hype is growing daily, which is so funny because that's literally what you predicted.
I said
word for word, bar for bar.
As this game gets shown off more and more, because right now they're like the developers and the people that are at the top of the studio, they are making the rounds on podcasts, they're making the rounds on interviews and everything, and talking about the game. So now everybody's getting excited. Yeah. And it's like, it's exactly what I was expecting. It's what happened with Black Myth, and it's what I expected to happen here. I'm like, this is just a game that has been sitting there, and it's like, if you didn't know about it, then you don't know to get excited yet. Yeah. Because when you see when you see the trailers that come across in some of these showcases and that, it's like, oh, cool. It's like cool, like fantasy action game. And yes, cool fantasy action game, but with one of the highest potentials of the year.
you know, it's so funny because, like, literally, again, I'll vouch for John. Like, bar for bar, this was his prediction to start the year. But also, bar for bar, one of the things that John said was, "This game looks too good to be true." Dude, when I tell you the amount of times I've seen that exact set of words
Oh,
or
yeah.
on Twitter, it's like this game just looks too good to be true.
Yeah.
This game just looks too good. This
It,
this can't be real.
it everything they say, and when you start hearing them describe the game, you go, can't you, games can't do all that.
Yeah.
It's like you can't have
Yeah.
you can't have everything in the game.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
if you say you have everything, you can't have everything.
Yeah.
It's like, Grant, I don't know if it's all going to work.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
That
what I-
wasn't gonna work.
it's also what I said. I was like, I don't know if with all the systems they have in the game, I don't know if it's all going to work together well. But if half of it works together well, you got a great game.
Yeah, no, even like a former Red Dead 2 developer said that, hey, if they can deliver on what they're promising, this could like legitimately rival for Game of the Year. Like, and I agree.
I've already predicted it.
Yeah, no, it like also in terms of like the building conversation and the looks good to be too good to be true, right? So at work the other day, I asked one of my department heads to help me out real quick. And I was like, "Hey, can you help me hand me this stuff real quick? I am beyond exhausted, dude." So I was like up in the bay doing my work, and yeah, he's an older guy, but I've heard him mention that he plays games and stuff, and he's talking to one of his employees like, "Yeah, man, I'm telling you, you need to look into Crimson Desert. I mean, this game just looks too good to be true." And I look over at Alex, I'm like. It's like, bro, I didn't expect you to be talking about Crimson Desert right now. That is like, it's like gaining so much hype right now everywhere. Like, it's crazy to me that I'm out and about and I'm hearing people talk about Crimson Desert.
A lot of the news that's come out recently about it is all stuff we've been like everybody's who it like has been looking forward to it
Yeah.
has been wanting to know,
Right.
which is they've talked about world size.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've seen
Yeah,
all of
I saw
that.
that.
Like world size. Apparently, it's a massive world
Mhm.
where you have the ability to. It's like tr- main sources of traversal are walking, riding a horse, or riding a dragon.
Yeah.
And apparently, walking across it would take a long time. Riding a horse across it was what, like 2 hours
Yeah, something like
or
that.
something. And they recommend like, yeah, if you want to quickly get across the world, you're gonna need a dragon.
Yep.
Part of the other bit of the conversation has been there is no level grinding in this game.
I saw that.
It's
Saw
like
that.
level grinding is not there. It's all gated by skill, and the way that you gain power in the world is through exploration.
Yep.
So like world exploration, finding things in the world to increase your power as opposed to a leveling mechanic, which
Mhm.
you know what? Love that.
Yep.
So we'll see how it actually comes. I still think it's too good to be true.
Yeah. You know, I have actually not pre-ordered the game yet. So I just recently stopped by and I put in some pre-orders because, you know, I'm a boomer. I like my physical games. And I went through the list of stuff she wants, stuff I want coming up. I did not pre-order Crimson Desert because I've still been in that mode of like, let's wait to see what it looks like coming out. But like, I don't know. At this point, I'm just like, screw it. Let me just go ahead and get a pre-order in for that thing. Like, let me just dive in because like this is just too good to be true. I got to see it for myself at this point. I don't give a shit. You know, if it's a game I might not like, let's just go ahead and jump in at this point. Who cares? Because it really does just seem too good to be true. Like
Yeah.
everything I keep seeing is like, this is insane. This is insane. This is insane. That's insane. That's insane. It's like we're so close too.
Yeah,
We're so close.
I'm really excited for it. I love to see the hype growing
Yeah.
because this is one where it's like I've been waiting on this game for so long.
Long time.
I've been waiting on this game for so goddamn long.
What are you playing it on?
Probably PC.
PC. Have you already pre-ordered it? No. Okay.
No, I haven't pre-ordered it yet. It's like it'll probably be when I just pick up a day or two before it comes out.
Nice.
Just based on finances and that.
Yeah. I got
Probably
you.
based on paydays lining up and that. So it's like,
yeah, I understand.
but yeah, it's one where, man, love to see people starting to get excited about the game.
Yeah.
The closer it gets, the more videos I see popping up
Right.
about it, and I'm like, you know what? Glad to see all of this. Also, also confirmed, no microtransactions.
I know. I saw that too. I saw that too.
No microtransactions. The game is being sold as a premium game, not any sort of live service or anything like that. No cash shop.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I want my hands on it.
I know. I'm about to do my my Metacritic prediction soon for March, and I have been setting back and forth on Crimson Desert trying to come up with a prediction for that damn game because it can either score like a 96 or like an 83. I don't know. I don't know.
I can't help you with that. I have no idea where.
Realistically, I don't think it will go below an 88. I don't think it will go below 88. Is my current feeling.
It's one where that's a weird because a lot of the games I get excited about don't score well.
Yeah.
They don't score well, but man, do I love them a lot of times.
For some reason,
the ones that do score well that I'm interested in, I end up not liking.
That's weird. How does that work?
a lot of times it happens.
You know. The number I've been setting on is I'm feeling like a 92 is I think what it's going to come in, but I hope I'm wrong and I hope it's a 95.
Yeah, it's one where
I might just lock in a 95 just to be spicy.
It's an interesting one because it entirely depends on if everything works.
Yeah, exactly.
If it all works, we could be looking at a masterpiece.
Yeah, correct.
If it's clunky,
it's still a good game.
If it's clunky. It's going to have a fan base.
Yeah, it will have its fan base that people will support and follow. That is for sure. Either way, at the time of this live show, we are 26 days out. We're so close. We're so close. You got any other news to shout out? Anything you want to add to the show?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything.
All right, time for Game Set Game of the Week, and we get out of here. So you took a page of something a little topical last week. Something pretty notable last week. I'm going to take that same approach where it's slightly topical, but it was more topical last week than this week. And it's going to feel like beating a dead horse because of how much we talk about it. But it didn't make Game Set Game of the Week last year. So I figured let's go ahead and make it because I love this game and you should go play it. Game Set Game of the Week this week, we're going to do the 100-line Last Defense Academy. John's over there chuckling. It was very topical last week. If you didn't want to do it last week, I already had 100 line. I told you last week I had 100 line already. I had my next game already.
This is gonna be your game. This is gonna be your game that, like, for me, is Force of Nature 2.
Yeah.
Where you will bring this up whenever you have the opportunity.
It's a great game that people need to play, man. Because it was like one of the most slept on games last year because it released the same day as Expedition 33. Not great for it, but as the year went on, people played it. It's a very ambitious and large game. That's one of the biggest things that I admire about it is I admire just how ambitious it is, right? I've said it before. This is a game that when I look at it and look what it brings, this is a game that I look and view as art. And I don't simply mean the art style, right? You can love or hate the Danganronpa art style. It's still visually creative to some capacity. What I mean is just what they put into the game and made it so expansive. So it is a tactics visual novel game where you are part of this last defense of defending Earth, and you're defending in this academy known as, of course, Last Defense Academy. And there is something at the core of the academy that you are specifically protecting. And if the invaders get to that, is basically the end of all life. Throughout the game that you are told that there is still life that's existing, and you are just the last protectors and the last bastion to protect this core thing. Obviously, I don't want to give spoilers because this game has a lot of plot twists, a lot of deep story narratives in how it kind of goes. But the interesting thing about it, about how expansive it is like when it says the 100 line, it's strictly referring that you will go through 100 days in the game, and everyone will go through the same Route 0. But once you complete Route 0, that's when the rest of the game opens up to you. There are some different ways where the game continues. Again, just play the game to experience it. But once you complete Route 0, dude, the world's at your fingertips. I mean, how you play the game from there in terms of narrative is totally up to you. The creator, during its release was saying that, hey, this game could make us go bankrupt if it doesn't sell well. It sold well enough. They're not going bankrupt. He has said that he's never making another game like this again because of just how much work it went into it. And so the news that we talked about last week is that he wants to keep working on it for 10 years and keep on adding more and more and more routes. What was the number? It was like 400 routes or something like that. I don't remember.
Something like that.
He wants to add a dumb amount of story routes, and all those routes basically all go the 100-day length. So this is a game that I don't think anyone will ever fully complete. If you do, you're a psychopath, just like the creator of the game's a psychopath. But it's really fun, man. It's got, again, some great plot twists and great story beats. The tactics element is very fun. If you enjoy tactics games, play it off that alone as well. It is fun. It's almost kind of similar to how John felt towards Digimon Survive, where it's like you came for this and you stayed for this. It's kind of the same thing of like, I came for the tactics stuff and the unique concept, and then I stayed for the visual novel stuff and where this story was going, and the idea that once I complete this and then this happens and all these routes open up, every choice that I make matters. And it's not the same at any point, because even going through the beginning of your first route and you think you know what you're doing and you think you know what your character thinks he knows what he's doing, he quickly finds out he doesn't. There are slight tweaks here, slight tweaks there. It's like, that's not right. That's not right either. All right, let me figure this out. It's a fascinating game. Again, it's one that I look at as like, this is art because of the amount of work that went into it. So that alone is why I'm going to forever push this game. I've never played a Danganronpa game in my life. For further narrative, this game I am not the target audience for. I just really appreciate the amount of work that went into the game. 100 Line Last Defense Academy, Game Set Game of the Week. Go play it. I think it also won. Didn't it win JRPG of the Year last year for the Game Aesthetic Awards? I think it did.
I don't remember.
It won an award. I think it was JRPG of the Year. I think it won JRPG. Shout out to that. Shout out to people who voted for the Game Aesthetic Awards. But yeah, go play 100 Line. It's a great game. I really enjoy it. But now you're right, though. That's going to be my force of future.
That's going to be the one that like just sits there whenever you have the opportunity.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, we're going to talk about this now.
Look, people need to play it. It's a good game. It's a good game. It's really fun. I really enjoy it, and people need to play it. All right, last thoughts.
Like, comment, subscribe. Everything helps. And if you like what we do here, we do these live streams every Saturday about 6 p.m. Central Time, so you can come check us out then.
Yeah, we'll be back next week where I will be talking about some Resident Evil Requiem, however much I'm able to get into it next Friday and Saturday morning. I'm super excited for that. Again, beware, the game is fully leaked, so if you want to avoid spoilers, make sure to watch out for that. But yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to all the games that are coming out here soon, like Pokopia. The Pokemon Presents next Friday is going to be really sick. Crimson Desert coming soon, so super excited. Make sure to also go check out some Rogue Energy with the referral link down below. Promo code Spark3 to get 10% off your order. Check out Spark3shop.com to pick up some merch as well. Join the Discord, be a friend, tell a friend. If you want to support us further, the Patreon's a great way to do so. Until next time, guys, have a good one. Bye.